Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be doing 15 to 1 for the NHL Power Rankings. The question of the day is, what teams would you rank 1 to 15 in the NHL? Leave your answers in the comments down below. Let's get right into the video now. At number 15, I have the Carolina Hurricanes. I like their additions of Holland and Zingle, but I don't trust their goaltending just quite yet, as I don't feel like Reimer and Mrazek can carry them past the 15th seed.
15th spot for me is the Pittsburgh Penguins. They replaced Kessel with Galchenyuk, another lazy player that can't produce as well as Kessel. I don't think they'll do as well as last year. They'll do worse and struggle to make the playoffs.
At number 14, I have the Montreal Canadiens. I feel like they'll take another step this year as they have a really deep prospect pool, and I feel like they'll make an immediate impact this year, and that price will not make them miss the playoffs yet again.
As Mrazek bounced back, I find that Reimer will bounce back as well, as the defense Carolina can provide him will give him help to get his confidence back, and I think they will make the playoffs this year again.
On paper, it doesn't look like that good of an offseason for Vegas as they lost Haula and Miller, but Haula was practically hurt the whole year and Miller was also healthy scratched at some points. I feel like Vegas still has a lethal offense and they'll be good enough to finish at 13 in the standings.
As a lot of teams in the East got better, Washington has fallen because they've lost Burakovsky, Conley, and Niskanen, which gives them depth in offense and a good defender. They only replaced them with Gudis, just a big brute who just gets penalty minutes. Not going to help.
I feel like Pittsburgh will be alright like they always have been, as players like Crosby and Malkin and their goalie Murray always keep them afloat no matter what. Chenyuk, Tanev, Cahoon, and Joseph will all fit in, and they'll be an average team and make the playoffs.
Winnipeg is another team that lost in the offseason, as they lost Trouba, Hayes, Myers, and Sherratt. Their defense is not going to look good, especially if Byfuglien's hurt. And I don't know if Hellebuck's going to have a bounce back year as he did 2 years ago.
Philly had a bold but impactful offseason, as yes, they overpaid for Kevin Hayes, but he is a legitimate second-line center. And they added Niskanen, Braun, and Pitlick to add to their depth, while Carter Hart can be a solid goalie to fight for the Metro.
As the Colorado Avalanche has finally moved on from Varlamov, as he was streaky last year, they are going with Grubauer, and I think Grubauer has been a solid goalie his whole career, and I think he'll be fine as the starting role. Makar is coming in, and they got a lot of depth.
I think Washington will definitely take a hit from their number 4 seeding last year, but they'll still win the Metro, as they're a really good team and they're still fighting for the cup, and I feel like they still want to get another one.
I think that Golden Knights lost good players in Haula and Miller, but they've also going to have a really good top 6, as Stone is going to be there for a whole year, as well as a top 3 goal in the league in Fleury that will keep them afloat in the weak Pacific.
They're back. After signing Vezina finalist Robin Leonard in the offseason and drafting Kirby Dach after winning a lottery pick, they have finally surrounded the team with enough depth to compete again, as Kane and Taves will support this cast that they have added. Evan, what do you feel about the Blackhawks?
Their offense was never the problem last year, and now their defense got stronger. It was their goaltending, as they flipped through Delia, a hurt Ward, and also a hurt Crawford, and they could not get good goaltending, so now they got a Vezina candidate in Leonard.
The Florida Panthers had a good offseason as anticipated, as they added an elite goalie in Sergei Bobrovsky, Anton Stralman, Connolly, and Achari. They finally have the depth, and I feel like now this is the push to add to their amazing offense and to explode. Evan, what do you feel like?
The missing piece was a goaltender, just like Chicago. They needed a goaltender. Bobrovsky is a perennial Vezina winner, and also I think they'll be better than Chicago because you know that Bobrovsky will be good.
At number 7, I have the Winnipeg Jets. Unlike Evan, I feel like I recognize that they're losses, but I feel like they still have a really good goalie in Scheifele and Wheeler, and I feel like their prospects are good enough to step up.
As for Philly, I think that Carter Hart's going to step up with the additions of Hayes, Niskanen, and Braun. I think that they've got a good defensive core as well as a second line center that Nolan Patrick could not fit. And I think that they will be running the Metro since it's very weak.
Calgary will still be a really elite team next year, as with San Jose stepping down, they didn't need to make as many big additions, as they already have a really good core in place, but some other teams have passed them, but they'll still be a really good team in the West.
For me, Nashville will play better than people will expect because I think that Duchesne will finally give them the first line center that they needed. And Subban is a big loss, but Duchesne is also a big gain in their offense.
After making the finals, the Bruins didn't add any flashy players, adding third and fourth liners, but I feel like the Boston Bruins are just banking on this core one last time to make a run at it. Evan, what do you feel about the Bruins?
I feel like the Bruins have found some time for Rask to rest as they finally found Halak, and it'll continue till next year. And they'll be the same team and they'll still be really good.
I think that Nashville had a big offseason by getting Duchesne, as they desperately lacked offense, as their power play was near the bottom of the league and was their Achilles heel in the playoffs. I also feel that losing Subban won't hurt them, as Dante Fabro is a top right D prospect that can fill their top four.
Calgary had a very successful season last year, and I feel that this playoff loss they had with Colorado will haunt them, and they'll be coming back with the fire in their eye.
The Stanley Cup winning Blues, they finally did it. The only player that they have lost so far, or they might lose, is Patrick Maroon, as he hasn't officially re-signed, but I assume he will. And I feel like they'll have a good enough team to run it back and prove people that they weren't a one-off. Evan, what do you feel about the Blues?
The problem last year was Jake Allen, and now that Bennington has come in to proven he's a good starting goalie in the playoffs as well as the season, I think a full season of Bennington will prove everyone that they're going to be really good.
The Leafs had a crazy offseason, adding Tyson Barrie, the right-hand shot that Leaf fans have been screaming for years now. Alex Kerfoot as well in that deal, adding more depth in deals as well. They lost Kadri, but they're a really strong team overall now. Evan, what do you feel about their chances?
I think Spezza gives them the toughness they needed, and as well as I think that Barrie is going to help their power play that was struggling last year. And I think the Leafs will finally get past the first round next year.
Last year, the Tampa Bay Lightning lost in 4 to the Columbus Blue Jackets. A disappointing ending, but who else would you assume to be here? They have all the pieces needed, they just need to perform. And this team, until then, is the best team in the NHL still to date. Evan, what do you feel about the team still?
Girardi and also Strawman will hurt their blue line, missing those guys, but their offense is so good that it doesn't even matter, as Vasilevsky is proven to be a Vezina winner. That's going to be the end of it. Hope you guys liked the video. Go like and subscribe and leave a comment on the question of the day.